Okay, in today's class, I am going to explain access specifiers in C++. Okay, in C++ language, access specifiers private. Okay, in the previous class, I have briefed that public access specifiers. So, access specifiers mostly used to access the members of the class like attributes, methods outside of the class. Okay, in today's class, access specifiers. Private access specifiers, once any data members declared with the private keyword, so they can be accessed outside of the class. They can't be accessed or viewed from outside of the class. Let us do this practice. Okay, data members, which are the attributes, otherwise methods, once they declared with private keyword, they can't be accessed from outside of the class. So let us demonstrate the difference between public and private members. So this is the class name created with the class keyword, public access level declared. This is the public means access specifier. One variable x means attribute. Okay, variables which are declared in class, they are called attributes. This is int type of attribute. Its access level is public, so this x attribute can be accessed outside of the class also. One attribute y, this is integer data type declared as access level private, so it can't be accessed outside of the class. This code we will practice here. Let us see this code. This is the code. We try to access this y is an attribute declared inside of the my class. Okay, declared, but its access level is private. So whenever I want to access that y which is declared private, if I want to access outside of the class, I am getting this much of error. This is the, so let us do the practice. The same code. Now what I want to do, that I want to delete the total code from here. Okay, and I write the code again. Okay, now this is the code window, this is the result window. Now write the code. Hash, in C language, hash is important while you want to include any libraries. So IO stream library, that is very important, because as I told you that this is the mostly useful library if you want to work with input output functions using namespace. That is namespace std library, that is very important. Okay, next come down here, semicolon, not colon, semicolon. Next, create a class, any class, my class, whatever, your name, my name, there is no any problem. So class must be started with and close with this open braces, close, and so class to be terminated with the semicolon. Now class is created. Its attributes, whatever the attributes, suppose one attribute I have created index. Okay, now it is x is z attribute, its data type is int, so access level is public. Okay, that is very important. How you want to access this attribute. Public access specifier is, this is the access specifier. What do you mean of the access specifier? As I told you that its access level, attribute x access can be accessed outside of the class. One more attribute, int y. Okay, now its access level we need to specify. If I have not specified, so I have written inside of this public, so its access level is public. If I want to make it private, I need to write under. Okay, now what happened, this y attribute, generally it is a variable which will hold some word value. Now it is written inside of the under the private. So this attribute is private, so it can't be accessed outside of the class. Now come to the main function where the code will be executed. This is the main function, means main method. Okay, understood that? This is the main method. Okay. So now this attribute can be accessed outside of the class. So this is, class is terminated. Now I want to access here. First of all, create an object for class. Class is what? My class. Object, any object, your name, my name, any object. Okay, one object created for my class. My class, first class name, then object name. Object name, anything can you write. Now how can you access this X attribute and Y attributes? So first of all, my obj.x. Okay, now because this is the public attribute, so you can access outside of the class. So once you have written like this, what happens? See, okay, so now what happened here? Where is this? Here, this is okay. Why you are getting error? This colon, remove this. Okay, now run this code. So what you are getting, let us see what happened here. You want to access that X attribute, okay, outside of the class. Whether you can access that. So okay, you are able to access. But if you want to get printout, simply you write that cout, okay, cout my object dot x. Okay, but you have not mentioned any value. If you mention any value, for that attribute, so now you will get the result. Okay, so the result will be what? 8. You are getting 8. So what do you mean of this? You are accessing the X attribute outside of the class. So what about that? Suppose if you have mentioned the value for this, assign the value for Y is equal 9. Now if you want to access this outside of the class, my obj dot y. Okay, now what are you doing? You want to access this. It is declared, it access level declared as private, but you want to access it outside of the class. So you will not get the result. Why? Because it will give error. If you want to access which is declared, its access level is declared as private. Private, what do you mean of private? Means it's data member. This attribute can't be accessed outside of the class. So this is the error we are getting. Why? Because you have declared this as private. That's why. Understood that? So this is the story. And simply private, how many in C++? 3 access specifiers are there in C++. One is public. Public means members are accessible from outside of the class. Private members can't be accessed and can't be viewed from outside of the class. Protected members can't be accessed from outside of the class, but they can be accessed in inherited classes, means child classes. Inheritance we will study later. Inheritance means what? One base class will be there, child class will be there. So child class will inherit the all properties of the base class, means main class. So protected members can be accessed from outside of the class. They can't be accessed outside of the class, but they can be accessed in inheritance. Okay, inheritance we will study later. In inheritance, what happened? In inheritance, the base class will be there. Whatever the base class attributes and methods, they can be accessed by the child classes. That is called your inheritance. Okay, so 3 access specifiers are there in C++ language. If you members declared, okay, so by default all members of a class are private if you don't specify